Yo, what is good, guys? It is JJB, and today we're going to be reacting to a video I seen Flat Reacts react to. It's called "The NBA Needs to Fix This Problem," and I seen a thumbnail of Steph Curry on the floor, so I'm gonna be guessing it's like something to do with foul baiting, maybe, because like Curry doesn't get like foul calls like that boy Shy. But yeah, we're gonna check this video out, man. Let's do it. Got the water. Bro, what is this meme? Why is Paul George more evil than Homelander? Okay, bro. Alright.
Y'all got beef? I'm like, beef?
Yeah.
Like, we're out there competing, but beef?
Kevin Love, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Al Jefferson, Drew Gooden, Josh Smith, Tim Thomas, Antoine Walker, Lamar Odom, Jason Williams, Horace Grant, Otis Thornton.
The NBA season is in full swing, and it's about that time. We've got a new batch of hot takes to look at today. The good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious.
Let's go, Jimmy
Today's
High
video
Roller.
is sponsored by Factor 75. Factor is a gourmet...
W Factor, man, but we gotta skip. Sorry, Jimmy.
With 2025 coming to an end, it's probably a good time to look back on a great year of basketball, fond memories and bright futures. But instead, we're gonna do the exact opposite and dive into some of the hottest NBA takes the internet has to offer. Beginning with this one that says the
Forget the 2017 Warriors, the Cavs team that lost to them are sweeping OKC. It's not even close. Yeah, it might be facts, man. It might be facts.
2017 Cavaliers beat this year's Thunder. And this take just falls under the umbrella of X team from the past beats this year's Thunder, which is also just a subcategory of X player from the past is better than current SGA. The worst discourse in all of basketball at the moment. First it was the Thunder aren't as good as the 2017 Warriors, then it was they aren't better than the 2015 Warriors, and now they aren't better than the 2017 Cavaliers. I saw someone say the Thunder wouldn't even beat the 2013 Pacers. What? Can we just give it a rest? I knew one day fans of 2010s basketball would eventually become the unks that downplay the pedigree of future players and teams, but I didn't think it would happen this soon.
You have no idea how good
we are now the 90s old heads we used to despise. How quickly we went from the Thunder are too inexperienced to the regular season doesn't matter if you can't.
We got these new gen saying that Shai Gilgeous Alexander is better than Steph, Chef, the cooker himself, Curry. Like, come on now. Are you serious, bro?
Can't get it done in the playoffs. To, well, they won, but they barely squeaked it out over a mid-Pacers team. What exactly do the Thunder have to do to be taken seriously? Not only are they a great team, they do all the things we want great teams to do. They're homegrown, they play awesome defense, they're tough and physical, team-oriented ball, they don't rely on threes, they're deep, well-coached, composed. What other tests do they need to pass? I don't know who would win a matchup between the 2017 Cavs and this year's Thunder. That Cavs team was really good, and they did win one game in the finals against the greatest team of all time. But I do know that the Thunder have one of, if not the best defense in NBA history. They're 10 players deep, they have the reigning MVP, and they won an NBA championship. To say that,
bro, they're just so stacked, man. Like, they have just so many, like, yeah, their bench is just nasty too. Like, it's crazy. They have so much depth in their roster.
2017 Cavaliers would give the best team in the league today belt to ass is also saying the 2017 Cavaliers are far better than any team in the NBA today. And I just don't buy that. I remember at the time how people felt about that Cavs team, how they had many flaws, had an easy run to the finals, and were carried by LeBron. And as much as I wish it were true, prime LeBron does not conquer all. We have plenty of evidence for this. But this is just the way things go. People fall in love with a certain era, usually the one they grew up with, then in an attempt to preserve those memories, either completely rewrite or exaggerate what happened and tear down the new guys in the process. Do you know how many James Harden apologists have surfaced recently? Praising his prime years.
Prime Harden
unstoppable he
clears
was?
MJ
And I agree,
offensively.
But these are the same people that hated his game when it was happening, called him an unethical, foul-baiting playoff choker. The only difference between being hated and being loved is time.
Really, bruh? Wait.
the
Yeah,
time,
I
you
was
know what
vibing to
people
that
said
real
when the
quick.
73-win Warriors lost the championship in 2016? That they were frauds. It ain't worth a thing if it don't got that ring. As if because they lost in the finals, everything they did that season was in vain. Fast forward 10 years, and people are now using the 2016 Warriors as the gold standard of excellence.
Yeah, man.
But the Thunder have it even worse. Not only did they win a championship, they've come into this season with one of the most dominant stretches in NBA history, and they are still being discredited in the most creative, disingenuous ways imaginable. And in 10 years, I cannot wait to hear people say how incredible and historic and great the 2020
So I want to make sure my face cam is lined up. Scoot more over here. Okay, yeah, we good.
25 Thunder were, despite saying none of those things right now. We must refrain from becoming the thing we despised and give credit where credit is due. I do not like the Thunder's antics just as much as the next guy, but it is okay to admit that they are a great team who could probably go toe-to-toe with just about any team in NBA history. Now our next take says James Harden is more influential than Steph
And like we're not going down this route. Like James Harden, yeah, you got that step back. You got that step back, bro. You like that was your thing, but like, bro, more influential than Steph Curry himself. Like, nah, bro, get out of here. You're not even close, man.
Curry. And as blasphemous as this may sound, there is some truth here. Steph may have single-handedly changed the course of NBA
Jimmy Hyler, I know you're not even half agreeing with this guy right now, bro. Come on.
history more than any other player. On a macro scale, Curry caused a shift in the entire timeline of basketball. But on a micro scale, when you look around the league and the archetype of players we see today, you're more likely to see influences of James Harden, for better or for worse. The step backs, the physicality, the crafty downhill scoring, the ball-dominant combo guards, the ways in which players get their points, the foul baiting. In a perfect world, everyone would emulate what Steph does. But it's not a perfect world, and there's no one else on the planet who can do what Steph does.
Yeah, I kind of see your point now, Jimmy. I understand that point right there, bro. That's right. No one like him, so how can he be influential? Like, right? Like, I kind of see where you're coming from now, bro. Just a tiny bit.
Harden's game, on the other hand, is replicable for a lot of players, and it's effective enough to convert those players into Harden's successors. And this is probably where the natural course of the game was going to inevitably lead, but it was Harden who really perfected this ISO-heavy, change-of-pace, triple-threat style of play that we see littered throughout the NBA today. In fact, it's such a popular style that it has become essentially the default for most elite guards. Even from a historical perspective, Harden is one of a handful of players that changed the actual rules of the game and continues to have his tactics used by the league's best players. But Steph Curry is a singularity. He didn't just change the way players play the game.
Steph Curry's the anomaly, bro. Straight up, he's Miles Morales.
He changed the game itself, not just with his three-point shooting, but with his emphasis on off-ball movement, his gravity from 35 feet out, and his demonstration as a smaller guard being the best player on a championship-winning team. And his influence will be felt long after he retires. James Harden did change the game, but Steph Curry may be the biggest game changer in basketball history.
Facts.
Now, this next take comes from Nick Wright, and it's an approach on
Oh, not Nick Wright. He be having some of the worst takes I've ever seen, bro. I would not hear something crazy right now.
the GOAT debate that I've never heard of before.
So I have a theory. If Jordan never existed and the universally accepted greatest player of all time was Kareem, because that's who it would have been, a guy like Tim Duncan would be in the GOAT debate. What people turned the GOAT debate into was not who's the greatest player ever, it's who reminds me of Michael Jordan the most, which is why Kobe is
Read
probably
that ass,
a touch historically overrated because he is the most similar to Michael Jordan.
Right.
But because Mike was considered the GOAT, people elevated Kobe past a guy like Tim Duncan, who was just objectively better than him. Instead of the question being, who's the greatest basketball player of all time, people asked that question, but what they were really asking is, who's the most similar to Michael Jordan? And those are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Nick is one
Really, I feel like people don't really do that. Like, who's the most similar to Michael Jordan? I feel like people just think that he's really good, but I don't know. I mean, he is similar, but I don't think that's the reason why they like. I don't know, You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
100% right here. Michael Jordan was such an overwhelmingly dominant and popular player that once it was established that he was the GOAT, the goalpost shifted to who is the closest thing to Jordan competition. Even things like what the greatest player should look like or what their role on the court should be changed because of Jordan. MJ was many things, but first and foremost, he was a scorer. And so scoring became the overwhelmingly largest indicator of greatness. How a player moves, Jordan was graceful and explosive, and so the next guy must also move like a cat and jump out of the gym. It wasn't who's the next great player, it was literally who's the next Michael Jordan. And of course that player was Kobe Bryant. Many fans will even use the logic of if MJ's the GOAT and Kobe's the closest thing to MJ, then he must be the second greatest player of all time. And although I have Kobe higher all time than a lot of fans, I do think this approach has plagued and hurt these conversations for decades now. Despite Tim Duncan's incredible
The debate should even be, is Kobe better than MJ? It should be, can anyone shoot like Curry? Or does anyone have handles like Curry? Or who else has a shot release like Curry, bro? Like, we want to know. Please tell us, we're waiting.
Impact throughout his career, the fact that he looked, acted, and played nothing like MJ certainly did not help his GOAT case. I think we're seeing this same issue with Nikola Jokic right now. Because his game isn't super flashy, he doesn't play above the rim, and he doesn't look like an ultra-elite, world-breaking basketball player, some fans just dismiss the fact that he is one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. When Jordan retired, he wasn't just the GOAT, he was the blueprint. And if you weren't built from the same design, you were inherently penalized for it. However, as time goes along and the average basketball
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, the blueprint is that's actually a tough ass name. I'm not going to lie, man.
fan becomes removed from the days of MJ's cultural gravity, I do think we are moving away from this way of thinking. Impact and greatness comes in many different shapes and forms. And although Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, you don't have to resemble him or his game to be in that conversation. This is a great take.
Looking for tax help? Now there are TurboTax experts right in your neighborhood. They get to know your unique situation.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna
and
cut
get
that
you
out.
every dollar you deserve. So hand off your tax.
Now our last take comes from a disgruntled NBA viewer who says late game fouling has ruined the end of games. And I could not agree more. Watching the end of tight games these days is a
Low
special
key,
kind of
I kind of agree with that. Like, late game fouling is like, bro, just let them play. Like, it's so dumb. Like, excuse me. But I don't know. They be calling a lot of dumb fouls nowadays. I don't know, man.
torture. They say time travel isn't possible, but NBA teams manage to turn 30 seconds into 20 freaking minutes. And the
No,
worst
because
part
why
is
is
the
that the
only-
realest thing ever? Hold on, I gotta burp again. Excuse me. No, but that's for real. They be turning like, what do you say,
managed
30?
to turn 30 seconds into 20 freaking minutes.
Nah, literally, bro. That's actually crazy. 30 seconds to 20 minutes. Dante doesn't even do that. Actually, he might do that, but you know, that's just telling you how bad this is getting.
And the worst part is, the only time this strategy is used is during good, close games, absolutely butchering all the excitement of the moment.
For real
In the
though,
OKC
bro.
Spurs matchup a couple weeks ago, the last 10 seconds of game time lasted nearly 12 minutes.
10 seconds to 12 minutes? Bro, this NBA is worse than I'm Dante, dog, at this point. Like, what even is that, man?
This was a great game for 46 minutes with what could have been an exciting ending, pissed away with timeouts, commercial breaks, and free throws. And right when you think the bid is
Jeez.
up and teams are going to stop intentionally fouling each other and let the clock run out, they inexplicably foul again, and now you're stuck watching another Wingstop ad. Look at the
Wingstop
play-by-play
ad?
of the
Bro.
final 25 seconds of this game. What have they
Nah.
done to the game I love? 20 fouls, 24 subs, and not a single lead change to show for it.
Bro, like,
Intentionally
what?
fouling late in games has always been a thing, but it wasn't until fairly recently when teams started regularly fouling while up 3, attempting to preserve their lead. So now instead of one team fouling and the other team trying to avoid it by playing sound, disciplined defense, both teams are out there just chasing each other around getting fouls. Now, this
Bro, do you think they should like, you should give them they should have a certain amount of like on purpose fouls or something? I don't even know how that would work, but like, I don't know, man. Like the fact that they can just do it over and over like that is, it's kind of crazy.
Shouldn't be a hot take, at least I don't think it should, but there are still a lot of fans who believe this is a legitimate strategy that shouldn't take a backseat to our viewing experience. That the priority of these teams is to win, not consider how entertaining it is for those watching. And this is a legitimate strategy, and I do agree to an extent. But that extent came and went a long time ago. Winning has always been a priority in the NBA, and that has never stopped the end of games from being entertaining before. A lot of people don't think this is a problem that needs to be fixed. But if we were trying to fix this issue, some plausible solutions may be once the clock reaches a certain point, say 1 minute left, the team getting fouled gets 1 free throw and possession. Another
Well, that'd be a good idea. What do you say? Maybe the last minute?
1 minute left, the team getting fouled gets 1 free throw and possession.
1 free throw and possession. Maybe that would work. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Another suggestion some fans have made is 3 free throws on any intentional fouls committed beyond the 3-point line within the final minute of game time. But virtually every possible solution offered up inherently penalizes the team with the lead. So it doesn't look like this strategy will be going anywhere anytime soon. You don't see this tactic play out in every close game, but when you do, get comfortable, buddy, because you're about to witness a 30-minute ad break with some occasional free throws.
Bro, I don't think I've seen a game like that yet where 10 seconds they stretch into 10 minutes. Thankfully, like, I don't even want to watch one of those, bro. Jeez Louise, man.
This is a great take.
If I was Adam Silver, I would try to remove fouling while up 3. Late game fouling is ruining the end of games. It's unwatchable. I would like to remove fouling while up 3. Hey, it's actually, I feel like that's... Yeah, I could agree with that actually.
But let me know what you think. Share your hot takes in the comments below. And as always, the hotter, the better.
That was Jimmy High Roller. The NBA needs to fix this problem, man. And my hot take is this: it's not even a hot take, really. It's just start giving Steph Curry his foul calls, bro. He be getting beat up all game, and he be getting no fouls. And then you see Shy freaking. Al Horford barely touches him. Doesn't even touch him at all. He hits him with air, and the ref calls the foul for him, bro. Like, are we serious? But yeah, that was Jimmy always got W videos, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Suggest any other basketball videos or any sports videos you guys would want me to check out. But I hope y'all enjoyed that video, man. Thank you for any support on the channel. Peace out.